Okay. Welcome everyone. Hey, can you hear us on the stream now? You should be able to. Pidge.
Testing.
Give us a little holler, Pidge, if you can. Ah, yeah. Ruby got us. All right. Thanks, Ruby. All right. Well, welcome to this D&D game, which is deadly. Celeste, I'll let you do what you need to do.
Okay, cool. So, hi, welcome to D&D Saturdays with Digitech. My name is Celeste, and before we get into it today, I just wanted to acknowledge the traditional custodians and owners of the lands and nations across planet Earth. Lands that were unceded and for people who are still sovereign. And I just want to say, I acknowledge our elders and our knowledge holders, both past, present, and future, and to all my, First Nations brothers and sisters out there watching and joining in with us today. Pretty excited. This is an all-Indigenous D&D, which is pretty dope. I'm Celeste Carnegie. I'm a Birragubba, Jaru, and South Sea Islander woman from Far North Queensland. My family hail from the Burdekin. And I'd just like to hand it over to the rest of you to introduce yourselves and where you're from and who your mob are.
Okay, I'll go next. Yeah, okay. I'll go next. My name is Ben Armstrong. I'm Waterdeep. I'll be DMing the group today, and I'm super excited. Thank you for holding in there. And I'll keep it short. Let's get into it. Ray, do you want to go next?
Yeah, my name's Ray Johnston. I'm also Wiradjuri, but I grew up on Gundagara and Darug country, living on Gadigal land at the moment. And yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Keenan, you want to go?
I'll go. I'm Keenan Muir. I'm Yorta and Narangeri. I'm the only Victorian in this campaign. So I'm calling from Kulin Nations country. And I'm just psyched to see what happens in this campaign.
Me to go. I'm Carly Noon, a Camilleri lady. I come from Tamworth, New South Wales. That's my hometown. Love it there. I miss it. I can't really complain, to be honest. I'm living on beautiful Ngunnawal and Ngambri country, here in the ACT in Canberra. It's a beautiful day, it's very hot. I just come back from a run with my dogs and we're like really sweaty and keen for D&D and just nice chill afternoon. So I'm also the reason we're late. I'm sorry, everyone.
It's all good. Okay, well, so thank you everyone for the great intro. Just a few points before we start. The people here, every one of us here has different levels of experience with D&D and different levels of experience with D&D online. So there will be mistakes. We will be looking at rules. We will be kind of maybe, taking time to go, how do I cast that spell and this spell? So please, learn with us and play along. Don't be gamming in the chat and, no sort of backseat playing there. I'm not going to be paying attention to the chat as the DM. I'll be focused mostly on the game. I may look over every now and then though and smile at the camera or something like that. But yeah, just, obviously just, be kind. Everyone here is here to have fun and we're sharing that fun with you all. So yeah, we'd love to continue to do that. Is there anything else anyone wanted to say before I got into our game?
No, just that I'm a beginner, so...
Be kind.
Disclaimer, she's a beginner, so just be prepared for me to be like, I don't know what I'm doing.
We're all beginners at some part. Trust me, everything is new.
Yes. And also, always was, always will be.
Always will be. True. All right. Let's get into it here then, eh? So, for everyone here, you're starting off your adventure in the grand city of Waterdeep. It is a beautiful peninsula city with broad boulevards that are filled with long merchant wagons, carts and horses. The pavements that line the streets are wide and bustling with folk. It is autumn, and the folk are out celebrating and stocking up for the coming winter. This creates a sense of liveliness to the city, even though there is an impending winter coming. In the distance around the city, you can see towering statues that once destroyed part of Waterdeep, but now remain in their dormant state. The city repaired around them. In the sky, the ever-present Griffin cavalry fly, keeping a watch from above. On this day, the city is more alive than usual, as the annual Delzoon Knockout has been held in Waterdeep this year. The winning team, the Sword Coast Black Cockatoos, are celebrating with the other teams, families and friends, at the Yawning Portal, a very well-known and popular inn. It is also the official location of the Delzoon Knockout after party. This is where we find our group sitting in the inn in different locations. Shoelace and, I'm going to get this right now because we're learning here, and Tara are sitting together at a table. Zaular is in the inn, standing maybe off to the side a bit and looking around. Morn is arm wrestling a half orc over at a table. As you sit around these sturdy wooden tables or within this inn, it is lit by a brightly burning candle and littered with plates, cleared food and half-drained tankards. There's a lively buzz, there is music going on. The sounds of gambling and drunken adventuring and sports players singing bawdy songs that are drowning out the off-key strumming of the bards in the corner. Then, actually, I'll stop there. Antara and Shoelace, do you want to describe yourself? I'll start with Antara, and then Shoelace, and then describe what you're doing at your table.
Sure, so describe who I am for everyone tuning in, yeah?
Yeah, describe your character to the party here.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So I am a giant gold dragonborn. A bit of a jock. Grew up in a family of athletes, real good at a whole lot of sports stuff. And I am here because this pub has the best hot chips you'll ever eat in your life. They do chicken salt. They're just like crispy on the ends, real soft in the middle. They serve it with a real nice gravy, and I'm here sabotaging my fitness.
And Shoelace, what are you doing here?
I'm a rogue. That's pretty much my story. I steal things. And to be honest, I'm not here to steal, but I'm here to get a free feed. I heard that the innkeeper is very hospitable, and I'm just here for a charge. Hey.
Okay, so you're sitting together at the table, and what are you talking about? Or are you talking? Or are you just feeding? Having a feed? Quietest time.
Just eating your big hole.
Yeah, I'm just like mumbling and like just saying things,
Bit of
talking to
people
myself.
watching, checking out everyone coming in, seeing if we know anyone. It's the local,
Talking about the footy.
The footy. Anything in particular about the footy? About the knockout? The Delzoon knockout?
Or just that it puts everyone in good spirits and it's a good opportunity for me to come out into the big world and take advantage of those good spirits.
Mm-hmm.
It's here a little early to make sure that I still get a seat before everyone floods in afterwards, because it's going to get pretty crowded in here later. I don't want to lose my spot at the bar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I want to make sure that I get enough chips before they sell out.
Okay. All right. Now, Morn, you're on another table in the tavern, arm wrestling this half orc that you know as Yagra. And it's not going well for you. Yagra is quite the professional arm wrestler.
Well, he takes my money. This is what he does. I come here, everyone promises I will win, but he ends up taking my money, and I leave the inn with less than what I had. How's that possible?
Yagra turns to you and says, "You've got to work on those biceps. It's all in the bicep."
Well, that might be true, Yoda, but actually talking to this other guy,
Yeah, Yoda.
Yagra's like, "It's Yagra."
Down.
I'll
If you're looking for... Go ahead.
I'll win one of these days.
If you're looking for an easier time, I heard that Antaran over there... Hang on, I got to get the names right here. These are all new names to me. True God. Yes, Antara. I was right. Antara over there might be more in your league.
Is that a diss or a challenge? What are you saying there, Agra?
It's... Consider it as practice.
I'll introduce myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can hear your sound too coming through your speakers.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you, yeah. Just turn your speakers down. A bit.
I'm muted, boy.
It's not in Roll20. I think it's just... Or is it Celeste? Someone's got something like the music from the Roll20 coming through. External speaker. That's all. You're all good. Don't stress over it.
I think I'm muted, boy. I think.
Okay. Alright, so you're going to introduce yourself, Morn, over at the table.
Yes.
Okay.
So, my name is Morn Vale. To be honest with you, I don't remember when I stopped living. But I think it may have been around 35. And now walk this earth with not a care in the world. I'm basically an undead barbarian for hire. So I just care about the coin. If you need a big, hulking barbarian, I'm your guy.
So Shoelace and Antara, as this character walks over to you, what you see is a Goliath, and so this is a very tall person, but there is an unearthly visage to him, and he has a giant sword sticking out of his body that doesn't seem to cause any discomfort or pain.
But yet everyone else is like, "Oh God, are you okay, man? But does that hurt?" It's fine. It's fine.
Should be. That's weird.
And so you introduce yourself to the table. Are you looking for an arm wrestle?
I was told by Yoda over there, there's someone here who can give me a challenge, and they're offering up money.
To come over here and money. I mean, I'll arm wrestle you. I don't have any money though.
That bowl of chips looks mighty fine.
Do you want to wrestle for my chips?
Yeah.
I'm a treat. So, what do I get? What do I get if I win?
Look around. and I pull out of my pocket this enchanted lint.
Done.
Pocket.
Let's go.
Woo! That
Okay, all right. So a space is cleared on the table. Shoelace, you shuffle back a little bit in the chair to give a little bit of room, and you come in for your arm wrestle. I need both of you to make strength checks for me.
All right.
In the first rolls of the game, a strength check from both of you in a contested sense to see who wins.
Now, remind me how to do this digitally, or can I just roll my dice?
You can just roll your dice if you want, or you can open up your character sheet and click on the strength word. The word strength.
This roll.
Yeah, that's a terrible roll, and it's not the best roll from Antara either, but as you sit down, Morn, and you rub the hands together, a little bit of spit in the hand, kind of doesn't really work. You get yourself propped there, and Tara just casually just locks the grip. And easily enough, Antara slams your fist down on the table.
It sounds as if you broke my arm, but that's impossible because I'm undead. I don't feel pain.
But I get your lid. Your enchanted lid.
And you can now put down enchanted lint on your inventory
Yes.
to be determined of its element, its level of enchantment later.
Oh, where do I find my inventory on this sheet?
Just take a note. We'll figure it out.
So I have enchanted lint.
You can't forget that.
Enchanted lint. Okay, is there anything else? Now that you've lost this arm wrestle, Morn, how are you feeling?
I want to drown my sorrows in some...
Shame job. Got a shame job.
Yeah, exactly. I turn away and I'm like, what have I become?
And as you do that, one of the serving people walks past and says, looks at you and goes, another round of tankards coming up, and walks off, catching the hint and the sense of defeat in your face.
And
I'm
at that moment,
gonna offer you a chip anyway. Do you want a chip?
yes, please.
All right, you can have some chips. Do you want gravy?
Yeah, I heard the gravy hairs.
Well, you don't have to have any chips if you don't like them.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Just as you hand out the chip, my little mouse from my scurries down my arm and goes to pick up the chip and bring it back. Oh, by the way, I have a pet mouse. His name is Bidger. And he's been with me since I've been undead.
Amazing.
What was his name again?
Bidger. So Bidger is...
Gotcha.
Wait there, I'll write it down. Bidger is Yorda for fire, I think.
Oh.
Deadly.
Because he's ginger.
Oh, that's mad. So whilst all this is going on over at the table now, we go back to the other character sitting here in the tavern, Zola. Did I pronounce that right, Celeste? Zola.
Zola. Can we go with Zola?
Zola.
My dog's name is Zola.
Ah.
And so Zola, what are you doing now whilst this is happening on another table in the tavern and you're here at the after party, having a look around, and there's a lot of teams here. And I put effort into this, so I'm going to call them right out. So you've got the winning Sword Coast Black Cockatoos. They're definitely here, getting charged up at the bar. We've got the Felbar All Blacks, which is an all-black dwarven team, who lost in the final, and so they're sort of sulking a little bit. But as the mead and the ale kicks in, that's going to disappear quite quickly. We have the Moonshay Eels. Now, this is a very interesting team from the knockout. These are a group of Locathar, which are kind of like a fish person. We have the Icewind Dale Yowies. Now, most of them are outside because they're mostly made up of bugbears. The Many Arrows Pacemakers, a few of them left, a few of them have already gone to bed because it's just a group of really old and aging orcs. And the South Ward Rams, which is a full team of halfling who are at the moment dancing on tables and getting quite merry in the Yawning Portal here at the after party. So, Zaula, as you are looking around, or as you are here, what are you doing?
I'm not here for fun and games.
Look out.
I'm
Okay.
serious. I'm here to look for somebody. Somebody that did me wrong.
I'm
Who
scared.
won the knockout, by the way?
Sword Coast Black Cockatoos.
Okay, that's what the
A team.
I'm looking for.
So the
Sour
sword.
don't fuck with the-
I had my money on the pacemakers.
The Black Cockatoos are a team made up of half elves and humans, mostly.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm here looking for someone who plays for the Black Cockatoos. And I'm here because I know the after party's gonna be here, and I know because they won, they're gonna be at the pub. So I'm stalking my prey
Okay.
because they did me wrong.
Okay.
I am a ASMR, and I'm a badass bitch.
So good.
You know, and so I am very much by any means necessary.
Okay. So standing around, you don't see the person that you're looking for initially, anyway. So whilst there is quite a bit going on, including the arm wrestling at the table over here, what do you want to do exactly? Are you going, what are you going to do with your character? You stand in the doorway, or are you going to do something else?
Well, I spoke to a civilian, and they told me that I need to go and speak to Ray and Carly's characters. What's your names again?
And Tara.
Shoelace.
I need to go speak to Antara and who?
Shoelace.
Tara's shoelace.
What?
Shoelace.
You say shoelace?
Yeah.
Shoelace.
Okay, Antara and shoelace.
So let's just making sure she
because
heard
I
there.
heard- Yeah. I heard that these two bitches were, this was their local, and they know everyone that comes through these doors.
Okay. So you easily enough spot them when Antara slams down the fist of Morn onto the table. It makes this thud that even over the noise in the tavern you can hear. And maybe a little bit of a gasp from Shoelace. Ooh, like, ooh, damn. So you turn and you see this table straight away. And as you're walking towards it, you see chips being offered in humble winning and humble defeat, and a little mouse scurrying down and taking the chip away on Morn's arm. Shoelace is sitting there as well. As you walk up, what do you want to say?
Who is Antara?
Hey, that's me. What's up?
I heard you know everyone that comes up in here.
Yeah, roundabout. I forget most people's names, but I know their faces. Who are you after?
I'm looking for somebody who plays for the Black Cockatoo.
Well, that's all them over there.
You're like that auntie
Sorry.
at the after party who knows everyone. Aunt, am I related to that mom over there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they won, so we're all going to be claiming at least 3 of them,
true,
right?
true.
Okay, and so at this point, I'm gonna say that I look over there and I don't see who I'm looking for.
You don't see who you're looking for, and there's a lot of people here, but you don't see your I don't know if target's the right word, but the person of interest. Shoelace, what are you doing whilst all of this banter is and conversation is going on?
I'm trying to suss out if Sissy has some money. I'm thinking I know who she's looking for, and maybe I could set up a transaction.
Okay. All right. Thinking this though, right? Just internal.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay.
She hasn't seen me yet. I'm just kind of in the shadows, being creepy.
Okay. You sort of sat back a little bit and with the arm wrestle and moved off and kept a little bit of distance. I got you. Yeah, so Celeste, you look over there and Zaula. I get all these names mixed up all the time. We'll get there. And you don't see who you're looking for. So it's a bit of a strikeout at the moment.
They probably saw me and fled.
So
Really get into it.
maybe at this point I might step in.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've noticed that that you're still trying to find them, you're like looking around. I'm just gonna come up and be like, hey sis, I know who you're looking for. You know, I hear bad things about him. Here he's gammon, here he's got lots of kids all over the place. But I know where he is.
Which is fitting because if you know that he's a bad guy, you know what I mean? Like, he's got that type of reputation, but he is also the most valuable player on the team. You know what I mean?
Aww.
He's one of those types of ones, you know what I mean? Like, he's deadly, but he gammon at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, because Zala only fucks with the best. You know what I mean? But he stole something from me, so that's why I'm trying to look for him. But I'm not going to tell anyone what he stole from me because it's a secret.
Oh, I get heaps intrigued by this.
Okay. Yep, Shoelace.
I'm just like, he's a dog, he's a dumb dog, we need to go get him, track him down. Let's go.
But I want to say that he's nowhere in sight. You know what I mean?
I know where he is.
As you're having this conversation and Shoelace is saying, I know where they are, and you're like, oh, he's not here, and you're just like, no, it's okay, I know where he is, we can find him. And Tara and Morn are still having a yarn over chips. The noise in the tavern is eclipsed by a shout. Ah, you dumb dog! You like killing me mates, do ya? Hey? A 7-foot tall half-orc woman stands up from a table. Morn, you look over and see that Yagra is now surrounded by a bunch of people who seem to be potentially picking a fight or giving her some trouble. She stands up and swings a punch at the closest one to her. He's a male human with a shaved head, and he gets knocked flat on the ground. There are 4 other people, or humans, men with him, and they're standing behind ready to jump into the fray. Yagra takes a step back, cracks her knuckles, and says, "Come on then, ya." And just before that happens, everyone starts to rush in. Fight! We're going to cut now over Celeste. Do you all want to get involved, as a fight is now breaking out in the tavern?
Yes.
I love a good fight.
Easily enough to get into this. Okay, all right. So, let's do this then.
I'm not going to get into the fight. I don't know. If
You're not going to get into the fight.
Usually
That's
I
good.
would say no.
No,
Usually I would say no because it's not my business.
All right, let's get into the fight then. So, I'm going to bring you all down in roll 20 to the Yawning Portal. You should see your screen change now.
Cool.
And for those who are watching at home, this is the DM view, so there's things in here that not everyone sees. And in this map, you can hold down the left click and ping. So ping a table where you would all like to be seated at.
Oh, mine's black.
Yeah, same.
Yours is black, I am very sorry. Let me bring you all down so that you can actually see.
Because that'd be great.
Come on down.
Like, there you go. Okay, so what we've got here is a bunch of no-gooders standing around Yagra. Yagra's over here. And which table would you all like to be sitting at?
Which way, Yagra, again?
Yagra's here. Over here, I'm pinging on the map over here.
Yeah.
And actually, I can probably remove the light layer here, but that's okay. You'll be fine for the moment. And so, yeah, which table would you like to be at? There's plenty of tables around.
I would like to be at. I reckon we could be like one table away, or what?
Well, you could be over here in the back, at one of these booths, or you could be on the table over here, or tables here. That's fine. Your choice. Depending on
if we go to the table at the back, then we can like come and charge in. You know what I mean?
this one over here in the way back.
Yeah. Away from Yagra.
Away from Yaga. Okay. All right. So does this all work for everyone?
Yep. Yeah.
So
I can do
that's
it.
towards the back of the tavern.
This is the back of the tavern. That's
Oh,
correct.
that's a long way away.
Well, Yagra's right here.
Okay.
Yeah, Yagra is right here where I'm pinging with the pink.
Oh.
So
Yeah, okay, yeah.
if you were sitting here arm wrestling, this would have been the arm wrestle location. And then you would have been like rocking up. I haven't got a grid turned on here because it was just being too tricky with the picture. And Shoelace, you probably slunk away into the corner over there and then, come out type of thing.
Yeah, I reckon we would be sitting away to ourselves because that's just how we go, all the blacks stick together.
Did we just... Where did Ray go?
Yeah.
Did we lose Ray?
I think we were.
Yeah, her
We-
internet dropped out, I think.
Internet has dropped out, and this is what happens in the world of online play. Okay, we're going to wait for Ray to come back. But while Ray's coming back, can you all please roll initiative for me? Now, initiative is where you take your turn in the round to come in. So Morn has done his.
So how do I do that again?
Okay, and you open up your character sheet,
Yeah.
and there will be a initiative, and you just click on the word. Sorry. You have to select your token. If you don't select your token, it rolls, but it doesn't actually update in the little window, the initiative order. So on the map, select your own token.
But I can't see myself.
Okay, give me a second.
It's just a black screen.
You're right. I hadn't set up your light. I'm sorry, Celeste. There you go. Can you see now?
Okay, yes.
There you go. Sorry, Celeste. Sorry, I hadn't updated your token to
you're
be able
right.
to see.
I'm right.
Yeah, so select your token. You can hold Alt and double left click to open up the character sheet, and then just click the word initiative.
So if I
don't know if this matters, but I can only see like a white circle on the map.
Yeah, I think that's...
Yep, that's because the dynamic lighting is turned on. That's all. I do need to adjust that for you all, which is your view distance. That's going to be really important in later on encounters where you might be walking through streets and might be walking through buildings.
She's back.
I'm back.
Ray's back!
My internet went down.
Of course. Always the way. Always
Just when
the
we're
way.
about to punch on. All right, who needs help? Where are we?
Marty,
Okay,
I can't actually select my token.
you can left click.
We're rolling initiative.
Okay,
Oh, sweet. Where do I do that?
okay, left click your token there, Zola. Right, Celeste? You got it?
Yes.
Okay, and then open up your character sheet, which is Alt double click. There you go. Boom, you got it. You got it. Perfect.
Can I just click initiative and that rolls it and you see it on your end, yeah?
Yeah, make sure your token's selected though.
Yeah. All right, I've clicked it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What happened there?
Oh, that sucked.
Whoa.
That's alright, that's alright.
Ooh, unlucky.
Actually, I gotta do these ones all by themselves here. Because I should have just selected all and done initiative. Okie
Now
dokie.
that's not fair. You're gonna have them all go first.
Well, that's the way the initiative goes. I mean, you know, everyone's sort of bandying around now, and so okay, so Yagra has hit this one, boom, and knocked them down, and you hear this shouting and the crowd starting to rush in a little bit. First, we're gonna have some of these humans that are around Yagra, and I'm just going to. So who's holding back? So 3 of you are going in, and 1 of you are hanging back. Is that correct?
Yeah. Oh, no, 2.
Okay, who's holding back?
Zelda's not. Me and Zelda?
Oh yeah, me, yeah. I'll hold back. 'Cause I'm a
Okay.
little bit unsure because I don't really like to go in other people's business.
I'm going in there.
But I'm aware that I need Antara and Shoelace to help a bitch. So we'll see how we go.
Okay, alright. Okay, so the bandit over here, which is the one behind Yagra, that's this one right here, comes in and is just going to make an attack against Yagra. And it's going to hit. So this one comes in and just like crack from behind and hits Yagra in the back as Yagra is facing towards the person that she clocked as she stood up. Yagra then turns around and says, "Hey, you fucking dog, you don't come in from behind me!" And boom, and shoves that one back into the bar and knocking him tumbling over the bar into the back there, where Dernan, who's at the bar, turns and looks at him and then looks under the counter and pats his greatsword as he's looking at him, and it's like as if to say, "You better watch out here or I'm going to get involved." The other bandits start to pick up, one of them starts to pick up the person on the ground. The person on the ground is an interesting character. He does have a bald head, as you can see, but now that he's being picked up and the people are sort of lifting him up off the ground to a point of visibility, you see that he does have a black snake tattoo over his eye, and the snake has wings.
Ooh.
As they help him up off the ground, he then turns around and says, actually it's not his turn yet. Morn, it's your turn as you start to see them helping him up.
Alrighty then. What's my speed?
Your speed's 30 feet. So each one of these squares is 30, and I don't have the grid lock on because I couldn't get the map to align properly. So you either have to jump over the table or run around the table. And you can measure. Very, very true. You can move 30 feet.
Okay. So I guess I'll run up here. I'll say, fellas, let's not fight. Why are we fighting?
Okay. Make a persuasion check for me.
Persuasion.
Persuasion. So one of them turns around and just gives you like like a one-handed palm to try and push you away, but he hits your body and it doesn't move, and he kind of goes, ooh, and he just kind of stops and like looks at you like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Okay. Can I do I have unarmed strikes?
You do have unarmed strikes, absolutely.
It's not in. Do I have to add them?
You would have to add it, yeah. But you can just roll a d20 if you want for now, and add your strength modifier to it.
Well, I'll do that. I'll try and knock both of them out.
Yeah,
Or
bash
one
him,
of
bash
them?
him.
You can knock one out. You can try and
Do
knock
it.
one out, yeah.
Try and knock one into the other.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm gonna do that.
Yes.
Okay. You can try and like grab one and throw him into the other one if you want.
I'll knock this fella and knock him into this other one.
So what,
So,
you're going to grab, knock this one here,
Yep.
and then try and knock him into that one.
Yep.
Okay, alright. Make an attack, just make an attack roll, just a roll d20 plus your strength modifier.
D20.
Ooh, terrible roll.
+2.
Plus 2. So as you go to grab him, basically to reach out and grab him, the crowd swells in to look at what's going on. And of course, there's like 6 teams in here, and they swell in, and in that motion and that wave, you get knocked aside, and you actually get pushed back a little bit. It's like a concert where all the gammon short fellas are trying to run up the front and push all the tall fellas to the back. So yeah, I see you at the concerts. I see you, and so now you like at the back a bit. So
It's like a mosh.
it's basically like there's a mosh, a circle mosh, kind of happening. So okay, that's the end of your turn. Yeah, that's all you want. That's all you can do. Yep. So all right. So Shoelace, what do you want to do? You're hanging back.
Look, there's no reason for me to fight.
Okay.
I'm just waiting to see what people leave behind. Like these chips next to me. I'm waiting.
Do
in case
you?
become available.
Are you going to like try and hide, or like in the scuffle maybe try and?
Only if I see something.
Okay. All right.
Worth grabbing.
Okay. Would you want to make a perception check then to see what you can see? Make a perception check.
Good one. All right.
Such a typical rogue.
Perception.
Oh, you don't. There is such a commotion going on that you're unable to really catch anything at this moment. There's just too many moving parts, too many moving bodies. But of course, you do see the chips on the table in front of you. That's obvious.
Can I ninja one?
You can roll a sleight of hand check. Yeah. What's your passive perception, Antara? Passive perception. Antara, as you put your hand forward, and as you go to pick one up, Antara looks at you. What do you do, Antara?
Do you want a chip?
No.
You sure? You can have a chip if you want a chip.
I just slipped.
Gotta ask me if you want.
I just slipped.
Chip.
I didn't know.
Just ask. You
who
can have.
there.
You can have. Are you sure you don't want one?
Nah.
Have you had dinner?
Nah.
What have you eaten today?
Fine.
Do you want me to get some? I'll get him to bring over some bread. We'll make chicken sandwiches.
All right.
With butter.
All right.
Yeah. All right. I think we just got to wait for this to die down, and then we'll get some bread.
All right. I can't say no to a chicken sandwich.
Okay. All right. Zawla, it's now your turn.
Well, I'm looking at these 2 big holes with the chips and the sandwich, and I'm like, oh, I could go for one of those too, But I'm a little bit wild because no one's offered me one. So then I think, but this other fella, Morn?
Yep.
Morn. Yep.
He's looking a little bit sad over here, and he's getting his ass handed to him. So I think, because I like a challenge, I'm gonna go help him.
Okay. So you can move 30 feet as well. And each one of these squares is 5 feet, right? So you just move, you don't have to move that far. It's only like 10, 15 feet up to the first person through the crowd. So to move, you can select your token and use the arrows. Oh, it's not going to work because I don't have grid enabled, so you have to drag. You have to drag your token like that to the location that you want to go to. You can use the measuring stick, which is on the side, but basically measuring stick, like you've got 30 feet, so you can move anywhere. Like anywhere here. Quite a distance. Alright, straight up behind Yagra. Okay. And what do you want to do? Still there, Celeste? Or are you on mute there? On mute there, look.
Shame. I've been talking to myself. I said I want to come up behind here. Good ways. And then I want to kick this table and chair here into these two fellas who are having a go at Morn.
Oh, okay. Alright. It's easy enough to kick the table. I mean, it's a big object. So make a strength check for me to see how far you kick it.
Okay.
A table or a chair?
I'm gonna go with the table because I feel
dang.
like I have more weight behind it.
Alright, yep.
So I go to my character sheet.
Yep,
And I click on strength.
correct.
Yeah.
A 10. So you kick the table and you just walk up and just go bang and kick it and it slides just into their legs and just stops.
I'm shame.
And they look at you and now they're kind of like eyes set on you because the main guy with the tattoo over his eye is still focused on Yagra and now this one's focused on you, these two fellas.
Okay. So now what?
That's it. That's all you can do probably at level 1. That's about it. Okay. And Tara, it's your turn.
Alright, so just whatever one's closest to me.
Mhm.
Where am I? I'm just gonna go up and whack him across the back of the head with my staff.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Rafiki.
Basically. Alright, what am I hitting on this this character sheet to do this?
Yeah, so on your character sheet you should have hang on, what's going on? It's got the...
Am I going into where the staff is? Do I click that or?
Yep, that's it. Just click that
Alright.
staff and it'll roll for an attack and damage.
Hey.
Okay, so you walk up behind and swing, and as you go to swing, he ducks another punch and it completely swipes over his head. So you'd be around here now, I'd say.
Tried.
You tried, and it's just becoming a bit of a. It's becoming a bit of a like an all-in scuffle now, and Dernan's standing over there just like shaking his head like we got to get this under control. Another one of these bandits. The one is the one that Yagra knocked down. He stands up and he lunges at Yagra and grabs her by the front of the shirt. And so tries to lay in and punch her. And as he goes to punch her, she just catches it. She's 7 foot tall. This huge hand just grabs a hold of the fist and twists it down. And you hear him scream out in pain, like, ah! The bandit behind the bar sees what's going on and looks over at Dernan, sees Dernan patting the greatsword, just starts to back up a little bit, like maybe we bought more than we could bargain for here because this is starting to get out of control. And at that moment, Yagra just she's got a hold of this person's fist. She twists his arm and then just headbutts him right in the face, right in the forehead, right on the nose, on that bridge. and he just shatters his nose. Blood goes everywhere, and he drops to the ground. At that moment, Yagra grabs him and starts to drag him out of the inn. So she starts to move over to here, dragging him along. And Durnan stands up on top of the bar here and goes, "All right, everyone, calm down, eh? Come on, go back to your drinking. It's over now." And he looks at Yagra and says, "Chuck that one out on the street." The rest of these bandits start to merge and sort of fall back into the groups and masses of people and start to make their way out as Yagra is storming out. She's headed out with this guy. And they all start to make their way. Is there anything that you want to do before they start making their way out behind the person that Yagra is dragging?
Yeah, can I can I just scam and trip someone before they walk out? Or
You can absolutely gam and trip one.
No.
and pretend it wasn't me?
Yes. So I need you to make an acrobatics check for me. It's acrobatics is in your character sheet. Click on acrobatics.
Acrobatics. Okay. Okay. Is it which way is that on the thing?
Under your proficiencies. So you've got strength, dexterity. You know when you've got athletics, insight, medicine.
Oh yeah. Okay. There we go.
Click on acrobatics. Oh, absolutely. And there's this one here that was walking past you, and he's like this, and he kind of looking at Durnan, and you just stick out your foot, just a little ankle tap there, and he falls on the ground. And he looks back up, and are you standing there obviously, or are you doing it on the sly?
Nah, because Zala owns her shit, so she's gonna be like, what?
And so
What you gonna do? What you gonna do, you dog?
he's on the ground, and he looks back up at you and sees you just standing there with your chainmail on, and your sword, and he's like, nah, I'm out of here. He just starts crawling along past the bar. And as you drop your intimidation. Shoelace, what are you doing over the back here now everyone has moved away?
Yeah, I think I might do another sleight of hand roll and try and get get a chip. I'm still starving, eh?
Yeah, go ahead.
And she's not there anymore.
And she's not there anymore, that's right.
You don't have to deal them. You can just have one.
I got her.
It's not the smoothest of chip steals, but the distraction is enough to get one, just a small chip, not a big chip, just a small one.
You got a problem.
She's a kleptomaniac.
Trying to survive out here.
Oh my god.
I should preface this with I don't steal in real life.
So as these characters are leaving, is anyone you're all happy where you are? You're just gonna let Yagra drag this one out, and you're happy to just sort of settle back in?
I'll yell out to Yagra and see if she wants a hand.
Yeah.
You yell out, Yagra just ignores you. She just keeps dragging.
Oh, alright.
She wild. Leave her go.
Alright.
Can I try and knock that one I was fighting on the top of the head?
You can.
With my...
You can try and knock them unconscious, absolutely. Make an attack roll.
That's what I'm doing.
I'll bring that one back, because they were right here. And let's just see.
Oh, with my mace.
You're not gonna be able to knock them unconscious with a mace. You're probably gonna. Oh, you might be able to. Let's see. Okay, with your mace, I'll allow. So, as they're starting to leave, Morn just pulls this giant two-handed mace off his back, And as these bandits, you know these fellas, I shouldn't keep calling them bandits, that's just the token I use. These fellas, you know what they're like? They're like, go on, you fucks, get in and get out of the way. They, think they're still mad tough, even though they're big man here lost. And Morn just slowly and casually pulls this two-handed mace off his back and just dunk, and just donks him right on the head, on the back of the head, and knocks him unconscious. He's unconscious. He's unconscious there on the ground, and the rest of his mates leave. Yagra dragging them out.
Actually, I'll say like, serves you right. Even though he's unconscious, I keep speaking with him.
Classic.
And then I'm screaming out, "Hey, Yagara, come get your boys! Come get your friends here!"
And Yagra starts to make her way back, seething, just like, she's got a bit of a shiner on her eye, and looks over at Durnan, and Durnan's just like, Yagra, you gotta stop making this trouble. Just get him out, and we've got a party going on here. And she's like, just like shrugs him off, grabs a tankard of ale, and sits down at the table. And at that very moment, when she sits down, the crowds are dispersing back into the areas that they were in. And as they're dispersing back, you hear the shouts of alarm ringing out from up the back of the inn. And you're like, what's going on now? And it's not uncommon for these type of scuffles to break out, in the after party of the Delzoon knockout. But it's not a shout of fight, it's a shout more of get away, run. And at that moment, as you look back, Morn, you're the closest, and Antara, you're also the closest. As you look back, a troll climbs out of the giant pit in the middle of the inn.
No way.
What the? In the middle of the inn?
The Yawning Portal is called the Yawning Portal because it has a portal in the middle that delves right down into the Undermountain. No one goes down there except for the most advanced and courageous adventurers, for there are creatures that are down there that would kill the average adventurer in a heartbeat. But this is the way down, and also the way up, along with this troll. And it's not unusual for creatures to come out of the portal inside here and out of this giant hole in the middle of the inn. And so this is why it is, one of the most famous and popular inns in all of Waterdeep. In fact, in all of this world, Faerun, because of the number of adventurers who come here looking for, treasure and fame by going down. But as this troll climbs up, its huge hand grasping onto the top of the brickwork, and the next one coming up, and it just pulling itself up. This hulking green troll. Along with it also comes a number of these creatures that look like the size of a magpie, but like a giant mosquito. And they're coming up.
And they swoop.
They swoop you right in the back of the head, those ones. You better look out. So they come up. And let me see here. So the monster climbs up out. Warty green skin and a tangled nest of wiry black hair, a long carrot-shaped nose and bloodshot eyes. As it bares its yellow teeth and howls, you can see that half a dozen bat-like creatures are attached to its body, with 3 more circling above it like flies. Everyone in the tavern reacts in fear except for the barkeep Durnan, who jumps up on the bar with his great sword and yells out, "Troll!" We'll keep your initiative order for this. And I will roll initiative for the troll. And I will roll... How many of these? So what's happening here is a number of these creatures are attached to the troll, sucking its blood. Okay. And Durnan draws his great sword and jumps up Yagra is also going to remain in the initiative order here, helping out, as she's basically kind of like the bodyguard of this establishment. And let's see here. Okay, we're going to have full height. So the troll is about 9 feet tall, and the Sturges, I'm going to just roll these Sturges as what they're called. I'm just going to roll their initiative once, and they can all go at the same time, because they are too many to keep a track of, and there's no need for that. And so, if you remember, there are 6 of them attached to the troll's back, and there are 3 of them flying around up the top. Durnan jumps up on top of the bar and charges forward. And as he charges forward, he yells out to everyone inside the tavern, "Leave the troll to me! Douse it with fire! Get those Sturges out of the air!" And he charges up with his great sword to look and take in and control the troll. Morn, it's you've done your knockout. Shoelace, it's your turn.
Alright. I'm concerned now, because like this is where I get my living, this place. So I don't want these people to be harmed. So I'm gonna stop worrying about the chips. I'm gonna come in and try and help old bud Durnan.
Okay.
Should I move?
Yeah, you can move 30 feet. And so you can get to, let's go. You can get to about here. Yep. Yeah, that's about, yeah, you're right. Yep, that's about right.
Can I attack anything?
What ranged weapon do you have? Do you have a ranged weapon? You got a dagger? You could throw a dagger?
Oh, true. Do I have 2 daggers?
Yeah, you have. Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, I'll throw a dagger.
Okay, throwing a dagger. So make a dagger attack. Ooh. That hits.
Yay.
Oh, hit. Hang on. You roll your damage. 1d4. I didn't. 1d4 plus 1 is your piercing damage. I should have rolled. Oh, you know what? I got to change your character to say auto roll damage. There we go. It'll do that next time. Okay. Roll damage. 1d4 plus 1.
Do I just click on the 1d4 plus 1?
Oh, actually, you can do it on the left-hand side. If you look over the left-hand side, you should have a bar on the left with the pointer mouse, a square, a paintbrush. There's a dice down the bottom there. And if you mouse over that, you've got D4, D6, D8, D12, D20. Yep. And you just click D4, and we'll just add 1 to it. 4. Take 5 points of damage. Oh, nice. You throw the dagger, and it just sticks into the troll's chest. It takes 5 points of damage. It's now Durnan's turn. Durnan's a bit of a beast here as he's charged in, but he's coming back around. Wow, he is a beast. Jeez. Durnan's going to run up here. He's going to start to engage. I'm going to roll these just for the sake, because I like to roll. He's going to make 4 weapon attacks with his weapon. That one's definitely a hit. That's definitely a hit. That's a miss. And that's definitely a hit. Durnan comes in and just starts slicing into this troll with just this precision, almost this gracefulness, as the troll's throwing its hands around and he dodges under, comes up and slices again, slices again, slices again, and he takes down the troll with incredible ease.
Whoa.
Didn't even get to do anything.
He turns around and says, "Lamp oil! I need lamp oil!" It's now Zola's turn. There are still a number of creatures. As the troll goes down, the Sturges that were all on him kind of are still sitting there sucking away. But there are 3 Sturges flying in the air.
Above the portal?
Above the portal.
Well, I got a longbow, don't I?
All right.
Can I have a go at it? Can I,
Absolutely.
Can I, legless, that type of shit?
Absolutely. Go for it. Uz. Uz. Make a longbow attack.
Okay, bear with me. So I go to my longbow, eh?
Yep,
And
that's
I
it.
press
Correct. Boom. And so Zola just takes the longbow off her shoulder, notches an arrow, and let's go. And this thing flies through and just pierces through the first sturge flying around in the air and kills it. Falls back into the portal with an arrow sticking through it.
Yes.
All right. Do you want to move? Because you can move and attack.
Okay, yeah, cool. Can I jump up on the table so I have a better,
Absolutely.
better aim?
Absolutely. All right, so you jump up on the table for the next round. The troll is its turn, and it is going to stand up as it regenerates.
What?
As it regenerates, having not been attacked with fire, it's going to get up again as it starts to heal and mend its wounds. And the sturges start to suck more profusely as there's now more blood in this troll's body to get out.
Is it my go yet?
Yes, it's your turn now, Antara.
Can I pick spells now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. Am I allowed to have chromatic orb?
You are allowed to. I believe so. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. All right. So I want to cast chromatic orb, which means I'm hurling a 4-inch diameter sphere of energy at the creature, as long as I can see it it's within range. I've got range of 90 feet. I'm sure that's
Yep.
not 90 feet away.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna choose, because I can choose for that to be acid or cold or fire or lightning or poison or thunder.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go with fire, because that's how we need to take this troll down.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a ranged spell attack. If the attack hits, it's 3d8 damage of fire.
You've got it. Okay, so make a ranged spell attack,
Okay.
which for you is... If you go to your spells window in your character sheet, it'll show you have a spell attack bonus of +6. So just roll a d20 +6, or just roll a d20 and then we'll add 6 to it.
In person?
You can do it in person if you want, or do it in game, up to you.
Right, where would I do it in game?
Little dice icon on the far left-hand side. There's a group of menus. Can you see that?
Oh, there you are. I can. So I just hit it?
Just hit the d20 one, yep.
God, that's scary. I'm so used to doing things in person. All right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, big roll. That's a 25 to hit. And so you cast this chromatic orb, and do you want to describe how this this spell goes off, if you want?
Yeah. So it's just like this ball of energy, and it's straight up hitting this troll, and it's just covering it with fire, basically. Fire energy.
Awesome. And as this chromatic orb hits the troll, the fire just wreaths over its body. It dies, and then it just starts to sort of like... You can see its skin starts to turn to this kind of charcoal. Indicate, kind of, and hardening in a way. Almost like a charcoal petrification process.
Like when you smoke a meat on the barbecue.
That's right. Exactly. And so it is now down, and Dernan turns and looks at you, and he gives just a nod of appreciation, seeing that you are in tune with the requirements to defeat a troll.
I give Dernan a couple of thumbs up.
Awesome. Yagra, having seen everything happen, pulls out a heavy crossbow. Again, looking at Zola and thinking that's a good idea. Jumps up on the table and heavy crossbow attacks, but it misses. The crossbow is a little bit slower to load and shoots at the sturge above the pit, but it misses. The bandit on the ground is unconscious, so we'll ignore him. Back to Morn. Your turn.
Okay, so
Did I roll for the sturges?
is-
I forgot to. I didn't roll for the sturges. I'm sorry.
So the troll's No more?
Okay, so before your turn, I'm going to go for the Sturges because I forgot to roll for them. I apologise. Okay, so the Sturges on the back of the troll, sensing the fire that it's wreathing across its body, they all fly up and then fly down into the portal. But the two left above the portal, not being affected by fire, survey the room and see some very large targets that can be very tasty. So, let's do a measure here, just because I don't have the thing. This one is going to fly in and try to proboscis attack you. It's going to try and stick its proboscis into you, Morn, and drain the blood from you. It's going to be a 7 to hit, which is going to miss, as it you're a big unit, but you are still wearing armor, and so it just hits the point of the armor that just can't penetrate in with its proboscis. The second one here is going to take a look at Yagra and get there. That's good. And it's going to fly over to Yagra and try the same attack. And 13 is going to hit. So it hits Yagra and just gets into the shoulder, starts sucking the blood out, and Yagra takes some damage. Morn, it's now your turn.
So these are small little sort of bird sort of creatures.
Absolutely. Kind of more like bats, I guess, in a way. They're like bats and mosquitoes put together. So for people on the stream and don't know what a sturge is, they can see that now. Let me see. I got here. Here you go. I can show you exactly what a sturge looks like. And that's what is now in your face, Morn, trying to get in and get that blood.
Yeah.
Look, it's been a long day. I haven't eaten in a while. These things are actually looking tasty at the moment. Let's just say. So I'm going to try and Ozzy Osbourne, the one that is currently on me.
Oh. Okay.
I'm just gonna grab it.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Oh.
Where them chips now? You still want chips?
Just do a D20.
A D20 plus your strength modifier. Why is this window stuck here? What did you roll there? I can't see. It's like I got a thing stuck. 11. 11 plus 2. It's a miss. As you go to grab it, you kind of just almost got it, and it just flaps up above you.
It's sort of like it sensed it, and it was like, no.
Exactly. Exactly. Is there anything else you'd like to do? You could move or try and move, or you can just stay there and try and catch this feed.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna try and catch this thing.
Okay, alright, next time round.
Yep.
Alright, it's Dernan's turn. He turns around and sees that there are only a few sturges left and things are relatively in control. So he starts pushing the troll back into the pit. And it takes a long time to do that. It's not easy to move such a hulking creature. Shoelace, it's your turn.
Alrighty. I think I can get closer to them now.
Absolutely. And I'll put a little X on this one to show that it's dead. Ugh.
Oh, okay, sure. Oh, so there's just these two left?
Correct. Just the two sturges left. One that Morn is attempting to catch and eat. Well, you don't know that, but that's what he's trying to do. And another one that's on Yagra in the back.
Alright, I'm going up to Morn.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use my my rapier.
Okay. That's going to be just a miss. Again, it flies up, just missing as the rapier stabs in. Yeah, they're very small and they move very quickly. Okay. Do you have any bonus actions as a rogue at this level? I have to try and remember all this, but I can't remember.
I don't know.
Let me have a look here. You have sneak attack and expertise. That's what you have. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I just look bad.
No, they're very easy to. They're very hard to hit. They're very hard to hit. And I think I'm just gonna double check this actually. Just 1 second, because does your advantage come in because you're attacking something within 5 feet of you as a rogue? This is where the rules come into play. Beginning at first level, you know how to strike subtly and exploit a foe's distraction. Once per turn, you can deal extra damage to one creature you hit with an attack if you have advantage on the attack roll. You don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet. Oh, okay. So you would have done extra damage if you had hit, but you didn't have advantage. Okay, all right. So you didn't get the 14, you got the 13.
Wouldn't you get an advantage because the enemies between me and Shoelace?
Right, so that's the flanking rule, which is optional. It's not a default rule, flanking. And flanking is probably, we're probably not going to do flanking. But yeah, we might do it later, we'll see. But right now, we'll just leave that rule out.
So good.
But
Maybe when we get a bit more used
Yeah,
to
but that is the flanking rule, Keenan, and that's one that is, it can be used and it can create like strategic placement of characters, you know, trying to get like on either side of a creature and things like that to get that advantage, yeah. But it does also make it a bit easier to hit them, and I'm kind of like, Okay.
Hey, can I have my turn? Because I need to go Jello.
All right. Quickly. Defeat these things so we can take a break. Quickly.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, because I'm a badass bitch, I'm gonna leap across the table at Yagara there and come down with my sword.
All right. Make an athletics check
Okay.
to jump that distance, to be athletic about it.
Oh, please come through for me.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. You easily enough just bend the knees and just spring up, coming down with your sword. Make an attack roll, and I'll give you advantage on this one because it was such a good athletic move.
Yeah.
Make your sword attack.
Okay. Do I need to do something for that?
Click your sword in your character sheet. Yeah.
Right.
My thing's bugged out here. I need to reload. And hits. How much damage did you do? Because my window's bugged out. It's got like a thing stuck over it.
15.
8 slashing.
8 slashing damage. So as you jump up in the air, the Sturge is distracted by Yagra, sees you coming and tries to fly up. But you got this because it's like the mosquito trick. It's always swat down because they always try and fly up. And you're like, come down with the sword and just carve it in half.
Just straight through. Just cut straight through the middle.
Boom, just straight through the middle. And it's now 2 pieces on the ground.
Yes.
The troll is dead, so it's not its turn. And Tara, it's your turn.
I'll be black.
All right, and Tara, what do you want to do? Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just want to check something. Oh no, actually, I'm not very bright, so I'll do it anyway without checking. Can I cast another spell?
You have 2 spell slots. Yes, you have 2 spell slots at level 1, so you can cast another first level spell, or you can cast a cantrip, no problems.
All right, I'm gonna cast another first level spell. I'm gonna go for Burning Hands.
What? In the middle of the end.
What?
Okay, go for it. Burning Hands it is.
Should we be scared?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so a 15-foot cone. So if you want to measure a cone, Ray, you could go over to the back again to the left-hand icons, right where the dice one was, and 1, 2, 3 up from the dice is like a little ruler. You can click that, and then a little box opens up next to it that says ruler. Click on that and say cone. And then
Can't see the ruler.
You can draw it.
Oh, that's the ruler. Okay.
Yeah, a ruler with a circle around it. And then you can draw a cone.
Alright.
So, the cone on Burning Hands is a 15-foot cone. So you go,
Okay.
that's 15 foot there. So anyone in that cone or anything in that cone gets burnt.
Sorry.
I think she's gonna burn us alive.
Or actually, the Sturge is over here. It's on Morn. I'm casting it at the bandit. So, but you can move. You can move and then cast. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna move first.
Okay.
So I'll move to like in the middle of these two. Hang on, what do we got? So there's what's left? I'm looking at this map.
Just this one Sturge here.
one
Sorry,
Sturge.
let me ping the one on Morn that he's trying to catch and eat.
I don't need burning hands. I am being a bit dense.
It's a little bit overkill.
A little bit of overkill, but I'm excited.
It's a big fight and a knockout after party.
Yeah. All right. I think I'm just gonna punch it.
Oh, easy enough to do. Run up and make an attack. D20 plus your strength.
I'm just gonna. So just D20
Yep.
over here on the left-hand side thing again.
Yep, that's fine. We'll put unarmed strikes in the character sheets at some point.
Aww.
Oh, it's a miss. It's gonna be a miss for sure.
Damn it.
You punch me in the shoulder.
Sorry.
Like run over here and you're like and hit Morn.
At least I didn't burn half of us alive. That would have been fun.
It's Yagra's turn. Yagra's just gonna come over here as well in this Sturge, and she's just gonna try and
Arm wrestle it.
grab it and chuck it in. So she not only this, Yagra rolls a natural 20. She runs up, 7-foot hulking frame, just picks it out of the air, holds it in front of her, and just closes her fist. And just goo and juice just goes everywhere as she just crushes it in one hand. At that moment, Dernan and a few others push the troll into the portal and it disappears. And that is the end of combat.
Yay!
We
We did it.
We did it!
And I know you just jumped off to the Gilloir there, Celeste, but we're going to take a break for everyone else to take a break as well at the end of that battle. I'm going to reload my Roll20 because it's bugging out on me. And we'll kick back off again in 10 minutes, yeah? Sound good?
We
Alright, we'll see you all back again in 10 minutes. I'll see you there. I got to go to loo myself.
These in 10.
Alright, we back now. We've had a break. Got up and stretched the legs, grabbed a feed. And we're back with the tavern. Okay, so as Dernan pushes the troll into the portal, he walks past you all and says, "Hey, well fought there, well fought. A round of drinks for you." And he walks back to the bar. And as he does so, we see an interesting character walk up to you all, mostly standing around in the same location now, still with an unconscious bandit, and Yagra sort of standing around that bandit for the moment. You see an interesting character walk up towards you. You are be adventurers, is that correct?
Yes.
I guess.
well,
I can be.
Yeah. I can be whatever you want.
Hey, look out!
Who's it?
Who's asking?
Shall we find a table to discuss further at?
Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
have we?
Alright, is
Are
our
we
a bit
have
excited
we
there.
got our table over here?
Yeah.
That's
What's up, bruh?
That table there will do quite nicely, thank you. Please, yes, I did hear Dernan saying that he's bringing a round of drinks, and let's go take a seat. And as he starts to move away, Yagra turns over to you, Morn, and says, "Hey, Morn, what do you want me to do with this one?"
Is this the surge?
This is the bandit on the ground, the fellow on the ground that you knocked unconscious.
Oh, right.
Oh, is he still there?
He's still there.
Still there.
I'll say, you know what? Decoration, maybe weekend at Bernie's, prop him up in the corner, throw some sunglasses on him, a little hat. It'll be fine.
Okay. Yagra looks at you and is like, picks him up and starts to just drag him out. It's too much effort for Yagra.
Before we go sit down, can I just get a loaf of bread and some butter, please? So I can make sandwiches out of these chickens.
No, but true, I want some too this time.
That's no problems. As you walk past one of the waiting people, the waitering people, you can ask them for some bread to bring that over. Another bowl of hot chips. Gravy or no gravy?
Oh, don't need gravy if we're making sandwiches out of them.
Yeah.
But if you've got any barbecue sauce, that'd be good.
Then I'll say, got any chicken salt?
Yeah, just lots of chicken salt.
Chicken salt barbecue sauce can do. Brings.
You don't like chicken salt.
What? No,
We can-
everyone likes chicken salt.
Ah,
love
put some
Just like
chicken
give us
salt on that.
all the chicken salt you have. We'll just take it all.
Just a bucket of chicken salt.
They look
You
at.
can buy chicken salt in like 1 kilo buckets. Did you know that?
Where?
Bring me thy chicken salt.
Now, please.
See, bitch.
Now.
Thy bitch is hungry.
So Yagra drags this one out, and I'm having struggles here with my mouse. And the white person looks at you and says, I understand, and walks off to get you a bucket of chicken salt, some barbecue sauce, a plate of hot chips, and some bread.
And some butter.
Oh, and some butter. You call out for some butter, and they kind of put their hand up to say, acknowledge I've caught that.
Thank you.
And this character who has walked up to you says, please, come on, shall we go and sit now? And the figure who approached you, as he's walking along, he's stroking his mustache, adjusting his floppy hat, and tightening his scarf. And you all make your way over to the table where he takes a seat.
If I was smarter, I wouldn't trust him, but I'm not.
Can any of us insight check?
You can make an insight check, absolutely.
True. I've got insight.
Yeah, you can make an insight check.
You probably got the best rogue.
Uh-huh. What would you like to know about the character? What are you looking for when you're checking him?
Do they have money?
Okay.
They got what's their goods?
He gives off the appearance of being someone who's quite wealthy, and yet you notice that he's not carrying a very heavy pouch of gold.
Yeah. What type of shoes he wearing? That's the. What's the brand of shoes?
He got those Rudy Giuliani shoes on.
Does he have socks on? Or what color are the socks?
So
they match?
look at them shoes though. He looks rich, but look at these shoes.
He ain't walking around in those Air Force Ones, that's for sure.
Alright.
No, he
I'm
looks.
just gonna tell everyone that he looks rich. We should listen to what he's
Okay. And he does say to you, as you sit down, he goes, please come, sit down. And if you all sit down, I can move your characters around if you want. You can move them around where you'd like to be in your table.
Let's
Whoa,
sit
whoa, 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 what did I do? Damn, I didn't mean to do that. My apologies. And you can guys sit around the table, I guess, if you like. And you sit down, he says, my name is Volothamp Gadam, chronicler, wizard, and celebrity. At your service. I trust you've noted that there is quite a bit of violence in our fair city at the moment. Not because of the Delzoon knockouts, but this is what it's like, just in general. I haven't seen so much blood since my last visit to Baldur's Gate. But now I fear I have misplaced a friend amid this odious malevolence. My friend's name is Floon Blagmar. He's got more beauty than brains, and I worry that he took a bad way home a couple of nights ago. Maybe even kidnapped. Or worse. If you agree to track him down with
I'll do
all
it.
due haste, I can offer you 10 dragons apiece now, and I can give each of you 10 times more when you find him. May I prevail upon you in my most hour of need.
Understand most of the words that you just said, but if you want us to go on an adventure, I'm in.
Excellent news!
I'm in. I'm all for it. I'm the person you need, but I think I need 2 dragons.
Oh,
It will be 10 dragons each right now,
Oh!
and 100 each on return.
Look, I'll take it.
yeah, that sounds alright, eh?
A dragon is a gold piece in Waterdeep. That's what it's
Oh,
called.
I wanted real dragons!
Yeah, I'm
What?
thinking dragon.
Yeah.
Dragon.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were just new to the city.
Nah, can't do it. Bring me dragons.
I'm gonna say first of all, don't know how famous you are because I never heard of you. Secondly,
I was just about to say.
I like your shoes. I might want them later. And thirdly, I'll do it for how much is he giving us straight up?
10 gold each, and then 100 gold each if you return Floon.
Nah, I want half now, half later.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Persuasion.
Your character would read the terms and
Oh, you
conditions.
dog.
Sorry, I actually haven't even caught your name.
I am Zaula.
Zola, it's a pleasure to meet you, but I cannot give you half now and half later as well as my shoes. And he's like, strokes his mustache like Brother Darkness stash cam style.
I'm gonna go with what the consensus is then. I'm still trying to figure out whether I even like these other 3.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think we're
Considering
together.
we just met and all.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought we were a traveling adventurers group. Oh, maybe I should take my business and needs elsewhere.
No.
No. That's not what we're
person
saying.
do?
Adventure.
Whatever, bro.
What does their friend do for them? What is their purpose? The friend. Why you want this friend back?
My dear Zola, he is my friend, and I worry about his well-being.
Yeah, right. It'll
I
be
mean, you
easy.
seem a bit sus to me, but yeah, go on then.
Easy cash.
Real pretty.
Yeah. Well, if he's as beautiful as you say he is, I would like to see this beauty for myself.
Well, he is absolutely one of the most handsome men you will ever meet in your entire life. I can definitely, confirm that, being such a handsome person myself.
In you.
But
Go along.
Self-love is the best love.
Floon he's a human man in his early 30s with wavy red blonde hair. He was dressed in a very princely garb on the night that I last saw him, which was 2 nights ago. We were drinking and merrymaking at the Skewered Dragon in the Dock Ward. So I think you should start looking there. It's probably a good location to start looking at. And if you do see my friend Floon, then come back and let me know. I will be here in the Yawning Portal.
That sounds good, but I've already forgotten where you said he was. Did someone else pay attention?
The skewered dragon in the dock ward, and he starts to look at you all a little kind of like, is this the best decision?
No, we're good, we got it.
We got it?
Wait, as
Right.
if
Whose
we're
job
like
is it to remember where to go?
Skewered dragon.
Doc.
Alright.
Yeah, go on then, lad. We got you. We'll go find this fella, bring him back. We'll bring him back alive if he is alive. I can't promise you nothing. It's already been 48 hours, so we'll see how we go.
We've all seen that show.
yeah. We have 40 hours.
First 48 hours.
Dum dum.
Oh, we're in a police procedural now. We're investigating a disappearance.
It's a disappearance.
We get there, it's just for
Law and Order. Where's the Law and Order soundtrack? That's what we need.
Dun, dun.
Olivia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
So are we just like yarning now? What's old bud doing?
So Follow says to you, if that's everything, then I will retire back to my own table. And please come and find me. If you need any more information, do not hesitate to ask, for I am a chronicler, and I know many things about Waterdeep.
Oh, that's good. Do you want a sandwich before you go?
Indeed.
They're so good.
Nah, he sound like he too bougie for chips and
Nah,
ham.
He's
you'll
not
love it.
from this way. No,
You'll love
he
it.
won't like it.
He wants a
From
deconstructed,
around here.
Constructed chips sandwich.
deconstructed chip sandwich. Gourmet.
Sprinkle your own chicken salt on.
Chicken Salt Baes.
But he does agree to take one from you, absolutely. And at that moment, the bread and the chicken salt arrives in this like wooden bucket, because they didn't have a bucket of chicken salt. They have sacks, so they had to pour it into a wooden bucket and carry it out for you to meet your request. And the bread, the chips, the barbecue sauce, the butter, and the chicken salt, and that's going to set you back about 10 silver.
Oh, that's a lot.
We gotta pay for it. Nah, we should get old mate to shout because he wants us to do this death-defying
Yeah.
to his friend.
Hey, Butter, your shout, eh?
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Who's got it?
Hold on.
I'll do it. Persuasion.
Charisma. Wait.
I've got good persuasion. I've
Yeah.
got good charisma. Should I do it?
Okay, yeah, never mind. Right, you do it.
Yeah.
You do it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Your shout out will be really well fed to go off on our adventure. Yeah. Persuasion check.
Yes.
Oh.
Take the persuasion check I rolled. Take my one.
He turns to you and says,
Not that one.
you make... sorry, let me just to recap here. So, you are going to help me. I'm getting a sandwich out of this. You want my shoes, but you also want me to pay. This is a most unusual group, but I am in most dire need, so I will pay half. And he gives 5 silver to the
Shush. That's enough.
He gives 5 silver, so someone else needs to cover the other 5 silver. And he walks off. He takes his sandwich and walks off barefooted, leaving his shoes at the table.
Yeah. Legend.
His Rudy Giuliani shoes.
Thank you. I'll take that.
Cheers to that.
Someone needs to draw that.
Oh, shit. Oh. Okay, so someone needs to take 5 silver off of their coinage to cover the cost of the chip sandwiches.
I don't know where my coinage is.
And
Okay.
you just take a note of it somewhere.
All right.
You haven't updated your coinage, that's fine. And as
I've
Volo
got my
thumb,
enchanted lint. I don't know what that does yet.
as Volo, what's that? Sorry, Ray?
I've still got my enchanted lint. I don't know what that does yet.
We'll get to
Maybe
that.
we could
You can,
use
make,
it.
you can make anything out of it, like any clothing item that you need.
Ooh.
As Volo leaves, he another weight person comes along with a carrier of tankards of ale, and he grabs one of those as he walks past. Starts drinking on his way back, and another 4 come to your table, and you have ales to go with your chip sandwiches.
Yay.
Yes. I like me a good ale.
Okay. What else would you like to do? Is there anything else you'd like to do here in the Yawning Portal before you want to head off?
I just want to point out that the name Yawning Portal, we probably should have seen something coming with that, but yep.
True. I wanted to say yarning.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yarning Portal. I get you.
Yeah.
You can set one of the, you can set up one of those later.
What
Oh,
day
should
is
we-
it? It's night time, eh? Like, we're going to want to sleep here the night before heading off.
Correct. It is night time.
Yeah.
Should we sort out a party name?
Yes.
Yep. If we're going to be...
Is there any suggestions in the Twitch chat that want to suggest?
Hey, look out, involving everyone out there. Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Interactive.
Interactive.
Give us some names.
Do we have any names to all the viewers?
Let's have a
What do you
look here.
reckon?
Let's have a look. I know a few people have been tuning in for a while too. You've seen what's happening.
I like it. I love it.
Travelers
Travelers Circle. What about big holes?
Yeah.
The big holes.
Big old squad.
And you don't have to come up with a name right now. Chicken salt.
Oh, I
Chicken
don't
salt.
hate it.
Chicken salt.
The Devon
Chicken Salt Baes.
Desperados.
Oh, the Chicken Salt Baes.
Deadly Dungeoneers.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I like both of those.
It's up to you. It's your party. It's your party. Your choice.
I like
I
that.
like Chicken Salt Baes.
I like Chicken Salt Baes.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, go on then.
Chicken
Carly, what you reckon?
Salt Baes.
I like it. Hey.
Yeah,
Alright.
okay, let's go with Chicken Salt Baes.
I just love what a
Thanks,
Major-
Dylan. Thanks, Bill and Morris.
major
think
character the hot
it
chips
really,
are.
yeah, it represents us. I think they got it. They nailed it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
All right, the Chicken Salt Baes. As you
And we'll have to get out of like all of our characters just putting like chicken salt on a bowl of chippies.
I'm so proud. I'm so
Oh,
proud.
you know what? I got chicken salt in the cupboard there.
Ooh.
And you know what? It's home brand.
Oh, not to brag.
I got
but
home brand chicken salt.
It's
not the brag.
It's home brand. It's home brand.
You know you're like when you
Like
got
gold.
home brand chicken salt in the cupboard.
True. Okay, so you're gonna go for take a night's rest. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Before you head out and look for Floon Blagmar. Okay. It's easy enough to find a room at the Yawning Portal. It's a very big inn, multi-layer, multi-story, I should say. And Dernan's willing to give you that night for free for all the help in dealing with the troll and the sturges.
Thanks, Dern.
Yeah. I was gonna sleep outside.
Rest now.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much for your help. So,
Hey, Dan, you want to come visit me later?
Hey.
Oh, look out.
hey, look out, PG. And Dernan, he's got like a little mustache too, and he's like, thank you, but we've only just met, so
You then.
Ooh.
my apologies. And you see Yagra just like arm on the bench here, like this, hey, looking at you like Yagra just staring at you, like, who are you?
That's Yagra's man.
This is my man.
Oh no.
I'm trying to take Yagra's man here.
You
should
better
try to
back
take
off.
Jager's man.
So you all take.
Lost, Vernon, you're lost.
You're lost, Durnan. And as you walk away, Durnan kind of does that little side eye, and then Yagra just like slams her fist down on the bar, and he brings his attention back like, "Hey, I'm all right. I'm good." And you head off to sleep. Is there anything that your character? Anything you want to do? You just want to head to sleep, get up in the morning, and roll?
I got to do 20 push-ups, 20 squats, and 20 pull-ups on the door frame.
Yep.
Have a shower, cup of tea, and then climb into bed.
Okay.
Yeah. I gotta clean all my weapons after those sturges done, you know.
Yep.
Some blood on my sword.
You get some nightly routines in before hitting the hay.
Yeah.
It used to be like that, but I'm not living anymore, so I don't.
You don't care.
I don't care.
Sleep? You wouldn't even need to sleep.
And that's true. I mean, Morn doesn't actually
that's
need to
true.
sleep.
Yeah, but
you don't really
keep
know
up
that yet.
Appearances.
Yeah.
Keep up appearances.
Well, we know it now.
You know it now, yeah. Is he walking up telling you? Yeah, that's true.
Can I do like a perception to just see if there's like goods I can see?
Absolutely. As you're making your way up to the...
Nah, just in the room where like all the fight
Oh yeah, go ahead.
was going on. And...
Yeah,
I thought
go
you
ahead.
meant like as we're walking to the rooms, you're like stealing paintings from the house or something.
That's right.
We're not there yet.
No. And you know what? The ale and the chicken salt, which made you even thirstier, and then you drank more ale, is starting to mess with your senses a little bit, Shoelace. And you're a bit blurry-eyed. Anything past like 5 feet, and you're like, whoa, you can't really see properly.
Take me to bed. I'm done.
Okay.
Taxi.
All right, and you go to bed, you wake up, you sleep. So Ray, you get your first level spell slots back for a long rest, and the rest of you are okay. You don't need to worry about that business. And so you wake up in the morning, and you would meet downstairs. Is that what you want to do? Big mob brekkie.
Everyone else. Big mob brekkie. I'm awake before anyone else is. I've gone for a run.
Okay, so you go for a run, and the city is relatively quiet at that time of the morning. There is the city watch, which is always out and patrolling. They keep an eye on you, but you're obviously out, not causing trouble. It's very obvious to see that you're going for a run. And they just, watch you as you go by. There's no merchants, there's no stores open. There are some carts on the roads as goods are being moved around the city watch. The city early in the hours. It's a bit easier to transport goods at that time. But how far do you want to go?
I'll do 5Ks. So from Piper Circle.
Whoa, 5Ks.
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're going for a long run like that, let's take a look here. Because we've got the Waterdeep map, which is massive, so I'm not going to put it up on. So
It should only take me about 15 minutes if I'm like 6 foot. So.
Look at you.
Ooze.
Just waking up everyone along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone just hears thug, 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 thug as I'm running around.
Oh, this is not to scale. Okay, but you get quite far, and you actually head up into the North Ward, back around to what's called the Sea Ward, through the market, and you come back down towards the Yawning Portal. It's quite a long run. And along that way, you also pass Castle Waterdeep, or you at least see Castle Waterdeep. And you stick to the main roads, or are you sticking to the smaller roads?
No, stick to the main roads.
Sticking to the main roads, okay. So you go up what's called the High Road, all the way up into the North Ward. Then you'd come back along Delzoran Street, and then over into Sewell Street, which brings you back down to Traders Way, which is at the market. The market is where you see most of the hustle and bustle in the morning, and then from there you come back onto High Road and all the way back down to the Yawning Portal for your quick 5k run in the morning.
All right.
As you come back into the Yawning Portal, everyone else, what are you up to? You
Just as she walks in, I'm coming down for my own ritual, which is a nice cup of coffee in the morning to wake myself up. Even though I technically don't need it, it's just habit at this point.
got you. You sit down at the bar, order a cup of coffee. Vernon's not there, but the person who's there in working in the bar at that time is easily enough able to get you a nice cup of black coffee. Milk, sugar.
Soy, if you have it, and I don't know. Do you have an espresso machine? Like, I'm looking for a cappuccino.
What's an espresso? So, no, sorry, I don't understand. Don't know what an espresso is.
It's fine. It's fine.
You can have international roast or Moccona. Take it.
I'm gonna say, yeah, Ghana.
Or that other one. What's that other one? The blend.
Plan 20.
Oh, Nescafe Blend 20.
Yeah.
The Nescafe.
Oh Lord. I'm gonna say that I see Morn at the bar asking for a coffee, and I feel like I want a coffee too. So I sit down, I pull up next to him, and ask for a coffee.
Okay.
And I say I like my coffee like I like my men, black.
Knew that was coming.
And the bartender just looks at you really strange, like, who are these people? It's tourists or something. It's that Delzoon knockout, that's right. She gets you a coffee, black. That's the only type of coffee they really have, except if you like a little bit of milk or sugar in it. But yeah, most people get black coffee. So she's like, it's a bit strange. It's the most common coffee out there. All right, Shoelace, what are you doing?
I'm just asleep in the corner. I'm like stirring because I can smell the coffee, and I'm like trying to wake up. It's a bit of a struggle, but the sound of some international roast, it gets me there. So I get up and it's like stumbling over.
Wait. To help you wake up, can I send Bidger over to wake her up?
You can, absolutely. And so Bidger, the little mouse, scurries over to you. How is Bidger going to wake Shoelace up?
Just slaps you in the face. No. No, she...
That's my mum.
Yeah,
Nah.
Get up.
what's do you have long hair? Like,
Oh,
or is
I'm
it
trying.
tied back?
It's. I have no hair. I got nothing. Just clean shaven.
Ooh.
I ain't got
Well,
time for that.
maybe you can feel his whiskers against your
Oh,
cheek.
it tickles me. Alright.
Nice.
I'm like tickled by the little mouse
Nice.
and giggle, and I'm awake and I'm happy.
Does Bidger scurry back, or does Bidger stay with Shoelace?
He makes sure she's awake and then scurries back.
Scurries back, okay.
Oh, I love this little mouse.
It's very cute. I'm gonna like follow it back over, over to where everyone is. Can I do like a sleight of hand and try and steal some coffee?
Yes, always.
Like pour it into my
A
hand.
cup of coffee, or like the grinds? You're like trying to get the grinds.
Oh, I don't know, just like maybe like someone's coffee that's there, just like get in a quick sip while they're not looking.
Okay. Go make a sleight of hand check.
Oh.
Oh, it's not great. Not the rolls for Shoelace are just struggling. As you go to grab the coffee, it's really, really hot, and it burns your hand like ah. And then the person behind the counter goes, "Excuse me, can I help you?"
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Please don't touch. It's very hot. You have to be trained to handle these things.
Yeah, no, it's someone dropped it there. Watch out! Like, get some like OHS in here.
Oh, let me go get the forms. She runs out the
Don't
back.
worry, I'm
And she
fine.
has to get. You have to sign a form now. So she comes back out, and she's got a form that she starts writing in it. So, accidentally burnt hand, reached over the counter, and she signs it. She goes, "Please, can you please sign this for liability insurance?"
Yeah, I just like
In
literally
your
scribble.
hole.
But don't even look at it. Just scribble, walk away.
Okay, you scribble on and just walk away. She goes, thank you, and she like puts that under the table. Says, "Please don't reach over the bar. There's many dangerous items here."
Do what I want.
Yeah, whatever, lady.
Okay. All right. So everyone's downstairs. Are you ready to go find Floon, or is there something else you want to do before you head off to find Floon Blackmar?
Gear do we
I'm
have?
good.
What do we got with us?
Yeah,
Do we need stuff?
yeah.
Do we need like armor? Do we need supplies? Do we have
It-
like?
Is there a general store nearby?
There are
Armory?
many stores on the way in and around Waterdeep. And they're easy
Can we
enough
go
to
for a
find.
Doris through the markets? Find things?
You can go for a Doris through the markets. That's fine. There is a market area. There are plenty of shops along the way as well, including, I mean, you would have seen as you'd been around Waterdeep, there are shops basically everywhere. So even if you were to head towards the dock ward, you're fairly confident that there would at least be some stores along the way. But you can go to the market district as well if you'd like.
Yeah, let's go to the markets.
Yeah, there's lots of things there to steal.
I like the markets.
Oh, okay. Thieving away
Yes.
here. This one's gonna get.
Not that I'm good at it.
This one's gonna get arrested here. Look here. Make a perception check, Shoelace.
Shoelace is struggling. Nah, poor Shoelace.
No.
Oh,
Oh no.
What is it?
Oh,
Why
wow.
can't I
Oh
see it?
no.
oh,
Wow, natural one. So you don't notice anything as you all leave the Yawning Portal. And you just walk on out into the street.
I mean, we haven't technically introduced ourselves to each other,
Okay.
have we? So,
Well,
Just
that's-
kind of organically gotten to know each other through
Okay,
like
yeah.
the battle where the
I'm
troll came
fine.
out of the middle of the pub.
I feel like
You
we're
know how
fine.
most fellas go, eh?
Troll in a pub,
how
that's
we-
normal.
That's how our adventure team works.
see how they
guys.
go? See how they go?
See how they go? See how they go?
Okay. If you want to do any talking before you head off, absolutely, go for it. Or if you want to just head off, we can head off towards the market ward.
I'm gonna say, I want to know more about Shoelace here.
Okay.
What are you about, Shoelace? How did
Hey,
you get the name
Shoelace.
Shoelace?
What's your deal?
I got it from my people who gave me bread occasionally when I was a kid because I had shoes but no shoelaces. And that was my dream, to get some shoelaces. So
Oh,
I'm living my dream.
you got shoelaces now.
I don't know if I've got shoelaces.
And now it's your name.
You know what? We're gonna go get you some shoelaces.
Look,
That
I'm
was
just
my
gonna
dream to-
assume I got them. I got shoelaces some point, and yeah, look, I'm just,
And now you're happy.
yeah, just chilling.
Living the dream.
That's it. Trying to find the best shoelaces I can find, and that's it. Simple person.
Oh, that's really
Is
nice.
that your mission? I love that. The best shoelaces in all the land shall be mine.
Just need a solid pair. Just looking for that one.
Gotta have that like that little not the plastic bit on the end. No, gotta have the metal bit on the end. You know.
Oh,
Be able to lace it nicely. You know.
Ones that'll last me.
that's a bit out of my price range, but
So on.
Go to the market. Let's go see if there's any shoelaces at the market.
So on Roll20, I've showed you here. If you zoom out, you should now be on the Yawning Portal. Sorry, on the Waterdeep map. It's massive.
Oh, yes.
It's massive.
holy.
You are down here where I'm pinging. If you can see it, that is the Yawning Portal. Okay, and the market ward is all the way up here. Or the markets, I should say, not the market ward. The markets. Okay.
Well,
So it's a bit of a walk, but at an early point in the morning, it's quite an easy walk, and you would head out from the Yawning Portal, back the way you ran this morning, Antara. So you would have a very good feel for where that market is. Heading out onto Snail Street, around the alleys into the high road, and up the high road all the way to Traders Way and Bazaar Street. It's a major road, and so as the traffic starts to pick up as the morning progresses, there are more city watch out than there were out in the early morning when you were having a run. But there are also more merchant carts, horses, and traffic on the road. This is autumn in Waterdeep, as I mentioned earlier, and so what's happening here is in the city is that people are getting prepared for winter. So there are lots and lots of goods coming in and leaving the city every single day. So the main roads are very, very busy, but it makes for an interesting walk all the way up. There are lots of unique characters and people to see. There's always, as the Griffin Cavalry, always flying overhead of Waterdeep, keeping an eye on things from above. And you make your way up to the market district, where there are shops now starting to open, and all kinds of shops that you can think of. This is the main market area and of the city. So what are you looking for? And I would say it's probably now around 10 in the morning.
Okay.
I'm looking for a very specific coloured gem
Okay.
for reasons that I shall keep to myself.
Okay.
I'm curious about what's going on over there.
I can hear CC cutting out a bit there. I'm missing you there for a bit there, Celeste.
No.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've got
How
like
about now?
gem tingles.
Yep. I missed. So you said a coloured gem, and then you said, but you're not telling anyone, and then after that, I didn't hear the rest.
Oh no, I'm looking. Yes, so I'm looking for a very specific coloured gem, but I shall not tell anyone why.
Okay. Okay. So it's easy enough to find a jeweler around these parts. I would say, there are every 10th shop or so has something to do with jewelry or gem work, gem smithing. It's quite a trade in Waterdeep, especially amongst the wealthy and elite. So there are different types of gem shops. There are, your Tiffany's type gem shop and jewelry shop, and then your, I don't know what the other names of other gem shops are, but your lower grade ones. You know what I mean? So
It doesn't need to be real.
Luvisa.
It doesn't need to
your
be
Michael Hill Jewelers
Yeah.
and your Tiffany's, right? So
Yeah, let's go Michael Hill Jewelers.
okay. So
and then you just see a Kmart in the middle of
Oh.
It's like one of those stalls in the middle of the shopping centre.
it. Yeah.
Like-
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So no, I need one of those ones. I need one of those stalls in the middle of the shop.
Oh, so you just want one of the little stalls? Okay,
Or
all
just
right.
one of those stalls where they just bring all the jewelry over from Bali and like mark them up
Yes.
by $200
Yeah.
per piece.
Okay, it's
What
easy.
I'm looking for doesn't need to be real. It just needs to look like it is.
Okay, so are you trying to do this without the rest of the party knowing?
I feel like I'm just gonna go alone on my little Doris and see what I can find.
Okay. All right, easy enough to do. So you walk off and you find this little stall at the markets. It's only very small, and there is a gnomish woman behind the counter, tending to a few pieces of jewelry on the little hanging display stands.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
I want to say that I find the gem I'm looking for in the casing.
Okay, what type of gem are you looking for? Or you don't want everyone to know? Okay, sorry.
No.
Okay.
I don't want anyone to know. It's a secret, Bob.
Okay. So let's say that you have a conversation with this gnomish woman, and she says that she can help you, and that she pulls out one of those little jewelry trays that is underneath the cart and puts it on top of the counter and shows you, and you see something there that is of your interest.
Wait. Yeah, I see what I want.
Okay. And she says to you that this particular one is going to cost you 3 gold.
What? 3 gold?
Gold.
For something fake? For reals?
Can I
Let me
do,
just
like,
look at
an
my gold
insight-
pieces.
Can I do an insight check?
Well,
Could
Celeste is off on her own. Unless you want to
Oh,
insight
true.
Celeste as to why she's gone.
No, don't you do nothing of the sort there, Shoelace.
Yeah, I think I
do
should
a
pay.
persuasion test? Can I negotiate it down to at least just one?
You can ask her if she'll take one. Yes, make a persuasion check.
Has everyone got gold?
Come on, come through.
Yeah, you should have your starting equipment, starting gold. Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
dog.
She turns to you and
Rolled a
says, "I'm very sorry, but I have to make a living. 3 gold it
I
is."
don't want it. I'm leaving. I don't want it.
She takes the tray, puts it back under the counter. Thank you. I'll see you next time, maybe.
Is that my turn now?
Well, if you want, yeah. What's everyone else doing while Zola is off doing something herself?
For
I'm sound.
the
I'm not
cheese area to feed Pitcher.
Okay.
And
Yes.
then along the way, I'm looking for an armory.
An armory.
Yes.
Okay. So yes, you do find a fromagerie, and it is called a fromagerie. For this is Waterdeep, where the elite and wealthy come to buy the wealthiest and nicest of cheeses.
We're shopping in the fancy town.
Oh, there's fancy shops up in
We
here.
got the stuff
David
for
Jones.
the charcuterie boards and everything. We'll be fine.
Charcuterie.
You walk in, and people have like gloves on. They're like not even touching the cheese with their hands. They got like white gloves, and they're like, kind of like cheese connoisseur outfit on. And this human man with a very tailored mustache, he's like, it's very curly, walks up to you and says,
No. This brings out a roll of cheese.
he says,
Does
"Good."
everyone in this town have moustaches? Is
Yeah,
it like
hey.
compulsory?
There's a lot of moustaches in Waterdeep. It just happens to be the fashion of the moment.
Oh, I get it.
But he's a cheese person, and that mustache just goes right along with it.
Is it because it's Movember? Do they do Movember in Waterdeep?
Yeah.
He's like, would you like to make a donation for my Mushtemba? No, and so he asks you what type of cheese you're looking for.
I'd like cheese that has been aging for no less than 10 years in an oak barrel.
Oh,
It's a whiskey.
indeed, sir.
Yeah,
Indeed.
tasty.
Oh.
In whiskey. Awesome.
whiskey infused cheese.
Well, absolutely. Well, that we can do for you. You're looking for a Cormier cheddar.
Oh,
Yes, exactly.
Cormier cheddar. Yes, we do have a couple of wheels of that right now.
Yeah.
And he brings out a wheel, and he puts it down on the cutting board, and says, "How much would you like, sir?" "I think you're a sir." And he now just realizes that you have this sword sticking out of your body, and it doesn't seem to be hindering you at all. And he's now very distracted and looks up and says, "Are you okay?"
No, what? He's looking at my sword, and I'm like, hey, my eyes. Thank you.
And he looks up. "Sorry, sir, are you okay? You have a sword
Look,
sticking out of your body."
It's fine. Let's get down to brass tacks. Yeah. Let's talk cheese.
Morn, the Goliath barbarian cheese connoisseur.
And at that moment, Bidget comes out, and I just say, I'd like probably something that big, maybe, just to feed my.
Sir, we cannot sell you something that small. I can give you a slice, and you can maybe feed it
Hunt him.
over a few days.
I'm over this. I'm gonna
Hunt him.
intimidate him into giving me what I want.
Okay, make an intimidation check.
Get him!
to get mouse cheese.
Running out of time.
This is so funny.
Oh.
Oh, natural one. How's it go, this fella?
Oh, you're joking.
3.
He says, "Sir, this is an upstanding establishment. You cannot walk in here and attempt to intimidate me into small pieces of cheese. Be gone with you." And he turns around and takes his cheese with him.
Can Bidjo give him like the big puppy dog eye?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I will let you roll make a charisma check for a mouse, which is going to be just a straight D20.
Right there. So
Do we have a
Charisma check for a mouse is what we're doing.
Let's have a look here. What we got? Mouse. I'm sure there's such a thing as a mouse. Rodent.
I love this.
Surely, mouse.
This is like
Mice can be
so
trained.
opposite to my other one. I'm a paladin with a pet dryad wolf. Now I have a mouse.
Okay. Yep. All right. Make a straight D20 roll. Oh, he rolls an 18.
Oh, strong, pretty mouse.
A strong, pretty mouse. As the man he's like, "Get out of here, sir! This upstanding establishment!" And picks up his cheese wheel and turns and sees Bidger just like, the big eyes, and he kind of looks at the mouse and he's like, and he walks away. As he walks away, he yells out, "Just wait there a moment, please, sir." And he comes back with a paper wrapping, a small cube-shaped paper wrapping. "This is not Cormier cheddar, but this is the leftovers from another wheel and a little snack that I had. You can have this for 50 silver pieces, and be gone with you then."
Oh, can't just give it to him for free.
That's 5 times more. A bowl of hot chips, a bucket of chicken salt, a whole loaf of bread, and some butter.
No.
This better
5 times
some.
more, and barbecue sauce.
This
5
better
times
be
more.
some goddamn good
Damn it.
cheese.
Jam and cheese.
For a little cube of cheese.
Sir, if you do need to know, it is Adbar Brie. One of the best bries in the land.
Triple cream.
So, look, brother, I'll level with you. I'm a giant barbarian. I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, so I don't know all of this cheese talk, but he seems to know exactly what it is, so I'll pay it.
Wow.
And I'll say, this cheese better be worth it.
He's just like rousing on this mouse. Okay, 50 silver for a decent cube of Adbar Brie.
What's 50 silver, so I got 40 gold.
Oh, sorry, I said. Oh, I'm sorry. I said. Let me confirm, please. 1 second. Sorry.
Silver, hey? Is that what you said?
Sorry. 5 silver. 5 silver. My bad.
Oh.
My bad. Sorry.
Oh, that looks better.
My bad. I messed up my conversions. I messed up my conversions there. That's why I have my trusty Sean Sunday DM screen with all of my information on the back that I should be reading.
Nice.
So what's that in gold?
That's
So
half a
5
gold.
silver,
Half a gold, yeah.
2.5.
Yep, so half a gold piece. My bad. Okay.
That's so much better.
Cool. That's not even the best part. When I'm looking for this armory, I've been bothered for a while by the smallest protrusion of metal coming out of my chest. So I casually asked them, I don't suppose you could help me saw this down a little?
So you're off at the armor now, the blacksmith?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So easy enough again to find a blacksmith in this area. There's lots and lots of different shops. Just takes a little bit of time while you're off on your own. And they take a look at you and they say, and it's a kind of a gruff looking dwarf with grey skin. It's very unusual to see a dwarf with grey skin. And he looks at you and says, I think you might need a doctor. That's a terrible accent. I'm going to stop.
No, don't stop!
That's terrible.
That for nothing.
Hey, it's too late to go back now.
You've done it. Now that's it.
You've done it. It's out there. Everyone knows you've done it. That's it.
Terrible. Yeah, I think you need a doctor, not a blacksmith.
Look, it's fine. I've seen a doctor. They're well aware of this.
The condition.
Pre-existing condition.
Yeah, pre-existing condition.
This condition I have of sword in torso.
You've been studied in some clinical trials.
And so, what do you want them to actually do? Just to like shave it down, like machine it down?
Just shave it down a little.
So you stop accidentally stabbing people when you're behind them in the queue.
That's it. Always turn around. I always stab someone.
Okay. Okay. He's happy to help. And for free because he just doesn't understand how you're even walking around. Like he's like, I need to save. He's just thinking he's going to try and save this person, and so he gets out his hammer and he tries hammering it a little bit, but that's not really what you need because it's kind of like like every time, just no, that's not what you need. And so he gets out like a grinding stone and he starts trying to grind it down. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take probably a good hour to get that ground down and kind of help out for you. So. We're talking at least 11 a.m. before leaving the markets now. All right, Shoelace, what you up to? You're stealing stuff, aren't you?
I'm not. I'm gonna give up on the stealing because it's not working out. For me. I need a break for a bit. Just need to build up the good luck again. I'm just gonna stealth around. Hey, I'm gonna like try and be invisible, but like know what everyone else is doing
Okay.
and where everyone else is.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Where's Wally? Where's Shoelace?
Oh,
Where's Shoelace? There are starting to be a lot of people here, and because it's in the middle of the day, getting towards the middle of the day, not a lot of shadows to hide in either. You feel that you're confident in your ability to like slink between the shadows and things, but in reality, you're like Drax standing there saying that you're invisible, and that you're moving so slow that you cannot be perceived by the naked eye. But in reality, everyone can see you. But you're confident that you are just like zipping between, things and undetected.
I love
Yep.
this.
I'm just in my own world. Cruising.
And make a perception check.
We know how this goes.
Oh, rolls a total of 20.
Whoa.
So whilst you are moving around, in your sense, undetectable, you are keeping a very keen eye on the people that you've just met. Maybe it's because you're unsure if they're trustworthy, or if you're just interested or curious to get dirt on them. It's up to you. But you very keen eye, and you see Zola. Yes, I'm going to get all these names stuck in my head one day. Zola. You see Zola over at the gem shop. Looking at a particular set of items on top of the counter. Then you also see Morn inside of a cheese shop having a bit of an argument with someone inside as you run past. And you will also notice what Antara is up to when we get to there.
Cool. I have a lot of respect for the mouse. I feel like we're bros.
The mouse. Bija.
That's about it for me, I think.
Okay, Antara, in here, what are you looking to do?
Magic shop.
Magic shop. Yes, there are a couple of magic shops around. There is, again, it comes in various price ranges, really. That's what you want to do. So what type of range are you going in for, and what are you looking for, perhaps?
I am looking for. I don't know. I just want to see what's there.
Oh, you just want to go for a Doris, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy enough to do. So.
Yeah.
There's like deck of cards, top hats.
Yeah. There's your your novelty magic shops, and then there's your real magic shops.
Yeah. No, I want to go into a real one.
Into a real magic shop, okay?
Yeah. Real magic shop.
So you walk into let's have a look here. Okay, all right. You walk into a magic shop, and in there is a tiefling woman with red skin and horns that come out and curl into the front, with jewelry adorned from the tips of the horns all the way back and draping down, wearing a very elegant and nicely embroidered purple robe. As you walk in, she's dealing with some other customers who are in the shop, but as you walk in, she does take the time to stop, look over at you, and greet you pleasantly and welcome you to Xandra's Magical Wares.
Oh, hi Xandra. Thanks for having me. I'm just gonna have a little bit of a look around, if that's all right.
Absolutely, my dear. Please take your time. And she turns back to her current customers.
I think I am looking for something in particular, actually.
Okay.
I'm looking for a pearl.
Ooh, okay.
A pearl of power.
Okay. All right. So you take a look around, and you're doing a browse. Now the shop itself has a number of magical items in there. There are scroll cases, there are scroll books, there are magical staves and some wands. There are trinkets and baubles. There are clothes even in the shop, that do seem to, for you and being attuned to the nature of magic in a very special way, you do seem to get this sense that these clothes might be magical as well, or at least have some magical properties to them. There is then over at the main counter, locked away in a see-through cabinet area, kind of like glass, a number of different gems, and there are a few pearls in there.
Ooh, okay. Well, she's still talking to the other person, isn't she?
She is still talking to the other person, that's right.
Alright, well, I will wait patiently my turn.
Okay, and it doesn't take very long, and she sees that you're waiting and make sure that she deals with those people and comes over to you as soon as possible. And she says, "Hello, my dear, what is your name?"
Hey, my name's Antara. And I was wondering if you had any of the pearls of power.
I do indeed have such a pearl. How many are you looking for?
Oh, I just need one.
Just the one? Okay,
Yeah.
and she goes into the...
I think. How much are they?
My dear, well, they are the most cheapest item. They are quite powerful, the pearls of power. Are you aware of how to use one?
No, I've heard of them though. My big sister used them, so... but yeah, if you could teach me, that would be good. Do you do that?
Yes, I could do that. If you are attuned to the nature of magic, you could also learn this through the detect magic type of casting, but I could also help you to do that.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Okay, well, yeah, if I can afford it, I will have a couple, I suppose.
A couple?
Should I have more than one? Do I need more than one?
You shouldn't need more than one.
I'll just have one then.
And I must say, dear, I'm not sure if you'll be able to afford more than one.
Okay.
This particular pearl of power is quite the useful item, but it is going to set you back 300 gold pieces. I
don't know if I have that much
ridiculous!
money. So I'm gonna pull out my pouch, which has all my money, and I'm gonna pour it onto the counter, and I'm gonna push it onto her, and I'm gonna say,
"Let me just see what I have in my
Can I get one for this? Do I have enough?"
How much is it?
For this, and I'm gonna just like stack it up in a pile, like when you go to the canteen when you're a kid.
All the coins.
How much in total do you have?
I have no idea. I have no idea how much money I have.
You probably have like 20 to 30 gold.
Yeah,
that's probably about what you have.
That's what I've got. Well, all I've spent is 5 silver on the food. So
she looks you over, this lady, Xandra. She says, "My dear, this is very innocent and honest of you, but this is not enough to purchase a pearl of power. In fact, it's not enough to purchase many things in this store. But give me a moment." And she starts to utter the words of a spell. As she utters the words of a spell and finishes, her eyes go white and then come back into the purple hue that they were previous to turning white. She looks at you and says, "I can see that you have some unusually untapped abilities. So I'll do you a deal. If you help me with a task, then I will, in return, help you with this item."
Deal.
Oh dear, don't be so quick to rush in without knowing exactly what it is that I ask of you.
Okay.
I am going to ask of you a favor. It will be a favor to acquire a magical item. A magical item that I myself, in all of my abilities am unable to acquire. Therefore, it will not be easy. I wish to hold this deal until I am able to discern the correct and accurate location of the item for you. But if you're willing to agree to the terms, then I am willing to, in trust, give you the Pearl of Power.
That
and
sounds really
take
good.
your
Thank
30
you so
gold.
much. I'm going to do that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for helping
She
me. That's so nice.
lifts up the Pearl of Power, holds out her hand, and a feather-tipped pen comes in, like a feather pen comes over to her hand, but not into her hand. It then radiates with glowing white energy. It comes down to the Pearl of Power, and a rune is inscribed. She gives you the Pearl of Power and says, I will be able to find you as long as that pearl is with you. And when I come and see you next, that's when I will give you the details of our deal. Agreed?
Agreed.
Very good indeed.
I love how you're just like, yes, yes,
Yes. Yes.
Let's
Yes.
do it.
Yes. We're going on adventures.
You really want
We're
the
doing
power
things.
pearl.
I just want adventures. So this is so great.
We're going on an adventure.
I've been waiting my whole life for this.
Excellent, excellent, my dear. Well, do be careful with that, please. It's quite powerful.
Thank you so
And
much. I really
I'm-
appreciate it. And if I can do anything else, let me know. I'll tell everyone how good your shop is.
Oh, well, thank you. You are quite nice. It's very friendly and nice to meet someone so
Yes,
friendly.
honestly,
I will talk to you very soon. If you don't come back, I will find you, and then we will have our next discussion.
That sounds fine. That sounds perfectly safe. That sounds great.
If
Thank
there's
you.
nothing else that I can help you with today, then thank you for coming by Xandra's Magical Wares.
Thank you, Xandra. It's been lovely to meet you, and I'm really excited to have the pearl, and I'm really excited to see you again for our next adventure.
So polite. Okay, and so Shoelace, you see this as you're zipping and zapping, and you like look up over the top of the window, and you see inside this kind of like, you don't hear, but you see this interaction between Antara and this tiefling inside of the store. You yourself being a tiefling as well, and then taking notice of that, and you see this communication between them. But make an insight check. Everything looks on the level, and that's bullshit.
Oh no.
I think I've lost your mic. You might be on mute there.
BS.
BS, I know. And everything looks like on the level, but you do see them having the conversation, and you do see the Pearl of Power, and you do see the magical exchange about that.
Oh dear.
Alright, on the best road.
You all meet up, and Zaola, you didn't get your gem, but maybe next time.
That's still a task, though. That is still a task. for
Got
me.
you. And you all meet up. It's now around 11 a.m. in the market district. And are you happy to be your next point looking for Floon Blagmar?
Yes, well, I'm just mindful of the time here.
Correct.
It's now 5 o'clock.
Correct. So if you're all finished in the market district, then we're going to end there. And next time, we'll go and chase up Floon. Where you at, Floon?
Sounds good.
Okay, fantastic. Awesome. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So that
Okay.
is the first session of the Chicken Salt Baes D&D
Yes.
in Waterdeep, slaying trolls and buying cheese. So
That was sick. That was so fun.
And making incredibly
Thanks, everyone,
dubious
for joining
deals.
us today.
hey,
That,
and
that just reminded me of the meme, right? Of the dog in the room. This is fine.
This is fine.
This is fine.
Fine.
This is fine.
Fine. That was a tiefling I made a deal with, wasn't it?
It was. As far as you're aware.
Oh, great. Fantastic. Yep. Look. And Tara is strong and quick and kind, but not too bright.
That's all right. That's a great character. That's great character. Oh, great characters, everyone. Great job. And I know it's your first session together in D&D and on the Roll20 as well. You all did phenomenal. Thank you so much. It was really fun.
you.
I
You're
cracked
right.
up.
Great.
This is great.
I was cracking.
Thanks for all the viewers at home there on Twitch. Appreciate just for tuning in for the 3 hours. So that was a good one. So thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we got to get those descriptions of the characters in the Discord. So
Yeah. Is that you? Was
great.
that you, Pidge, that was saying that? I think it was.
Oh.
I think it's Pidge saying that. But that'd be fantastic.
We are streaming every third Saturday, so we'll be back on the is it the 19th of December, or what? Are we gonna do December?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yep, so 19th of December, we'll chuck it up on the Twitch channel, make sure everyone's reminded, but turn your notifications on so you all know when we're going live. And keep an eye out for us on Twitter as well.
Fantastic. Thank you, Celeste. Thank you, Carly, Ray, Keenan. That was deadly. That was fun.
Thanks everyone.
Have a great afternoon. We'll talk to you during the week or whenever I get a yarn to you. Thank you, everyone on the channel.
Yeah.